a teacher for a living. About 3 or 4 times a week, I leave for roller derby practice. My derby name is Button Masher, not quite as much as some other derby skaters, but overall the name is supposed to be a reference to video games. When you're not very good, you just kind of button mash and hope for the best. My favorite part of roller derby is really the contact and the hitting. I decided to be a teacher because I've spent most of my life really liking books. I would read Harry Potter under the dinner table, and my mom always encouraged me to keep reading and keep writing. And so I knew in about 10th grade that I needed to be an English teacher because I really liked marking people's essays up with red pen. My favorite thing about being a teacher is just talking to kids about stories that I really like and that they really like. We have to read certain books for the curriculum, but we end up talking about video games, pop culture. I spent a lot of time talking about science fiction in my class because it's something I really like and something the kids like. In addition to reading and writing, we also get to talk about stories in general, which I really love. The combination of being a teacher and a roller derby skater has taught me a lot about patience, a lot about time management, a lot about my own confidence and what I know and what I'm capable of doing. I know that as an adult, as a teacher, I'm a role model, especially for younger women.
I love it when she comes into the teacher's lounge at lunchtime and you'll be like, oh my God, Devan, are you okay? Because she's got this huge bruise on her arm and she's like, oh yeah, no big deal. Like, I was in practice yesterday and somebody stepped on me. It's like, oh my God, like it looks like an injury where she should be going to the hospital, and she just plays it off super cool. And then in the classroom, she can bring in all of these really cool metaphors and scenarios that she's doing in derby class to really like engage her students, and I think that's awesome. I think Miss Manning's upbringing is really important, and I think really makes her stand out and is really special. I've gotten to talk to Devan a lot just about where she grew up. She grew up in Arizona, and so I think that really brings a big perspective coming into a more liberal state. And so hearing her ideas and having her be such a really great symbol and sort of just a great speaker for all the LGBTQ kids in her class and just making sure that everyone feels equal and feels aligned, I don't necessarily think that she was brought up in a place that promoted that. So to see someone who was brought up in a place where you can be sort of trapped in the society that you're in, to come here and be so open-minded about everything, I think that really shows the kind of person that she is, that she genuinely cares about the people that she works with, she genuinely cares about the people that she teaches. She is amazing. She is one of my heroes. I wish I could be as open-minded as her. I wish I could be as knowledgeable as her. She knows so much of what's going on in the current times. I feel bad that I don't watch the news more often. Like, she's so proactive, not just in her students' lives and what's going on and the things that she's working for, whether it's derby or whether it's her family or her friends. She's so proactive and paying attention to all of the things around her. It makes me want to really open up and broaden out to more things. So I think Devan is just like literally the quintessential role model.
I think the hardest time I've had balancing roller derby and teaching has been time management. I've never been super good at that in general, but knowing that I have practice 3 to 4 times a week for 2 hours or so, and knowing that I have essays that I need to grade has been difficult. It comes down to a lot of explaining to my students that I wasn't able to get to their essays this weekend because I had a game or practice.
No, she plays for San Francisco, Evil Dead, and I play for the Oakland Outlaws. She was one of the first people that I met when I first started skating. I was doing our recreation program, and she was one of the friendly faces that taught me to skate. It's special. She coaches, like I said, she's one of the first people who taught me to skate. And she knows how to organize a room, and she can see effort really well. I had practice with her last week. She was leading it, and we were doing a lot of stop work, and she was able to bring us in together and get us on the same page, make some adjustments of how she was teaching it, and then send us out again to work on it, and like things improved, things got better. And I've seen the same attitude from her in gameplay too. We had a chance to play a scrimmage together a few weekends ago, and I could just see how she brings the pack together. She always knows what's going on. Teachers have to know what's going on in their classroom, and they have to know, okay, who's gonna show up and raise their hand first, and who can I rely on to have the right answer, who needs a little bit of work. How can I help them? She's constantly reading the room and encouraging people to go harder and trust each other. And that's very important. I think like it's weird because you're like, oh, you stand in front of a room and you like mold young lives and you're so approachable, and on the track you like do not want to get in Button's way. But it also, I think, comes from the same place.
I think the only thing I would want to say about being a teacher, being part of roller derby, is that the combination of a day job and this pretty extensive hobby that many of us have is really about self-care, and it's really about keeping our mental health well, and it's about keeping our physical health well, and it's really about community. We get to come together multiple times a week. We spend a lot of time with each other outside of practice. When my job is stressful or when I'm overwhelmed, I know that I can just come to practice and skate and have a good time with my friends, do things that I didn't think my body could do growing up, or that I was told my body couldn't do. And the whole experience for me has really been about empowerment and learning about who I am as a person. Even though I'm a bit introverted, I'm a bit shy, I'm not quite a partier, I've still made friends and family members here that I wouldn't have without roller derby, and that helps me get through my everyday.